Joining me in studio is our resident book critic, Audrey Challenge. Audrey, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Thank you for joining us. It always feels like it's Tuesday when you're here.
Yeah, and today the sun is out.
Yeah.
The sun is not flirting with the clouds.
No, it's full on. It's an absolutely glorious day, and yeah, although it's going to get hot later.
We can tell, yeah.
All right, for our book review this week, we've got this lovely book here, In the Hands of the Father by Courage M. Nyoni. Just quickly, Audrey, what is this book about?
This book is centered around Chennai, a young woman. So this author wrote, his first book is called Still Waters. So we could say this is like a sequel to that book.
Yeah.
And then in this book, we get to know about Chennai, her early background, her late mom, how her mom died from alleged poisoning from mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then she's sort of raised by her grandmother. The dad remarries. And then, there's a lot of betrayal from a family setup. And then later on, she also meets someone, falls in love,
Yeah.
and then there's a whole lot of betrayal, jealousy, the usual plot.
All sounds very layered.
It is. This book is actually very layered, like you rightly say. There are nuances of all these things that make a good thriller, a good Netflix series, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were telling me just before we came on here that he's also got a soundtrack to this book as well. I mean, he's doing a lot, isn't he?
Yes, that's very new and very original. Let me tell you a bit of his background,
Yeah.
and then people might actually just understand. So this young boy, Courage Nyoni, he's a Zimbabwean author and music artist. And then he's civil. He's got a Bachelor of Engineering honors degree in civil and water engineering, combining technical precision with artistic creativity. He's a poet also. You can now tell. So he did actually compose a song, a soundtrack for this book. So if someone's listening who wants to pick the book up for production, the song is already there.
Yeah, and you know what I love about this as well? I mean, just looking at this book as well, I was looking at the notes that you shared with me. This was released on the 1st of October, so this is like still very new. I mean, about a week old.
A week
now.
old, right out of the oven, still hot.
And fresh.
Yes.
And I love this. I love reading about the author part. And it says, just a small boy with big dreams, mostly crazy, but sure is a child of God. I love that.
Yes, and funny enough, he kind of looks like you because he also wears glasses.
Nobody looks like me. He just wears glasses.
The nerdy, artistic type.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, and I think I've always been fascinated. And I think, especially amongst Zimbabwean authors in particular, there always seems to be a coming together of worlds. You hear somebody's an accountant, they're a doctor, but they don't restrict themselves to their professional calling, and they can still share their creativity with us. What are some of the things that stand out for you in terms of the lessons we can draw from In the Hands of the Father?
Okay, it's good you mentioned that. Earlier on, off air, I was talking to a young man. I think you're going to interview him later on. He's a law student, part one. Yeah. But he says he was an A student, like in terms of sciences, but he chose to do arts. Those kids who have 10 A's for O-level, but they end up doing the arts. But so I think it's important for people to just celebrate who they are. Yeah. Doesn't matter that you're a doctor, you can always write and,
We're complex, we're layered, just like this book.
Exactly. And some of the lessons that we get from the book, we see family and belonging. Everyone wants to belong to a family, to someone, to something, And there's the love and betrayal that I spoke about. There's faith and providence. God as an anchor when human strength fails. And I think we always talk about, like the world will fail you, but if you lean onto something and hold on to that, you can find that hope. Then there's hope and resilience. There's loss and grief, tradition and storytelling. There's a lot of storytelling in this book, a lot of Shona words. I love that he embraces his culture and his language, not like some people who act like they don't know Shona. So it's full of Shona quotes and, and the subtitles are there as well. Well done for that. For those who don't know Shona, the subtitles are there. Yeah. And then also there's power and vulnerability, like what we're talking about. You can't have power and not accept that you're also vulnerable. Yeah? What do you think about that statement?
And I think vulnerability is strength, if you ask me, because especially from a male lens, because it's not something that we are always encouraged to lean into. But I think the emotions, the opportunities, the growth that can come out of that, especially, but there needs to be safe spaces too. I mean, you can't be vulnerable and then, you're you get the raw end of the stick.
I do, but I think from what you've said, very important, I think you should not lie to yourself.
Yeah.
I think I heard something which was saying you need to be kind to yourself.
Yep.
You need to be truthful to yourself. I think that's when you can now be vulnerable to yourself and then maybe find a few safe spaces, like you said. And then there's strength and power in that. Powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously, I mean, whenever we have these books, which we love to do every Tuesday, but we read beyond Tuesdays, though. I mean, Tuesdays when we talk about it. But quotes, what are some of the favorite quotes that stand out for you in terms of what Courage put between the margins?
Okay, so my favorite quote will be, nevertheless, every ending marks a new beginning. Gather strength from the ashes of what's past and continue writing your story. Don't let the pen falter. For every chapter that is closed opens another waiting to be scribbled.
I think what stood out for me, don't let the pen falter, from still waters to in the hands of the Father. Can we expect more from Courage on this?
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's so many books out of this young man. And for me, I find it very amazing that civil engineering and writing, if I were to make a call to say, what would actually suit him more, it would be the writing, because his writing is very deep. It's and like we always talk about how in Zimbabwe we've got a few fiction writers.
Yeah.
Most of the books we've reviewed here, it's always motivational, self-help, Christian. But
Fiction requires a different kind of crazy. I mean, he said mostly crazy. His words, not mine. But genuinely, like you have to have conversations with yourself. You have to let your imagination run wild. I
totally agree. I mean, one person said to me after reading one of my books, they're like, you're a tad crazy and you're kind of dangerous, because if you can come up with a plot like that. But yeah, like you said, I think it's just that allowing yourself to get into that imaginary world and then come up with characters and plot twists and all that. Yes, a tad crazy, I agree.
And I mean, just zoning in on why is it that we're not so big on fiction? I mean, I know we intellectualize a lot of things, but fiction is like I like escaping. So I mean, like, why do you think as Zimbabweans we're not so big on writing fiction? I know we consume a lot of fiction, but in terms of writing, why is that, do you think?
I actually think from my experience in the book world, coming to 7 years now, even reading, you know what, they actually say fiction doesn't sell as much as these self-help books, Christian motivational. Funny enough, it doesn't sell as much as that. And do you know why?
So it's all about the money.
I don't know. I think, and then also fiction, like you said, it's very hard to write. So that's why you've got a few people writing it. But motivation sells, because I think people are looking for that
answers,
fix, for that self-motivation and all that. So they would rather buy a motivational book over this. And then also, I think with these other genres, like in Zimbabwe, I'm speaking about Zimbabwe, it takes, if you were to teach a book, say on sports, because you do a lot of sports, and also on, say, in the entertainment world, people might buy that book just because of your name.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
So they'll be buying you and what you represent. So that's why I think a lot of motivational books sell, because you find a lot of people will be buying into that brand. But fiction, for the kids, for the Ama2K and all that, they read a lot of this.
Oh, call me an Ama2K, and I'm glad he had the courage to go for fiction in the hands of the Father. Obviously, this book is just about a week old. How do we get our hands on it? Is it just a physical copy? Is it available online? how do we get a copy of this book and support the people who have the courage,
Yes,
to write
yes,
fiction?
Yes, and you know what? It is my prayer that this book finds itself maybe in the Ministry of Education as a set book, because it's that deep. So the book is going for $10, chitte, as we like to say.
Yeah.
For now, you can get your order direct to Tisumazwi, the base here in Harare. That was the publishing consultants. And also on Courage Connect. He's on Facebook, Courage Munopai Shenyoni, Instagram, and his website, courageconnect.co.zw.
And you mentioned a single. I mean,
Yes.
what's it called, by the way?
The single is called Nguva, and it's available on YouTube. So
YouTube.
please go and listen to the song.
Yeah, and get a copy of the book as well, In the Hands of the Father by Courage Mnyoni. Yeah, man, I love the cover as well. You say you never judge a book by its cover, but yeah.
Very artistic,
Very
very artistic, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Audrey, for joining us. And maybe just your final word before we let you go.
Let's support local authors, and thanks so much, Seti, and you guys are amazing here.
Yeah, well, we love our reading, and yeah, go out and get your copy. I think maybe we can just shout out those social media handles once again, so that people can go and find them and support the work.
Courage Munopai Shenyoni. This is on Facebook, Instagram, at nyoni.cm. Website, courageconnect.co.zw. And the book is $10.
Just chete. And you can go on YouTube, listen to a single. I'm going to do that as soon as I get off air. Ngua, it's called,
Ngua,
right?
yes.
Ngua. It's tied in with this book. It's like whoever had of a soundtrack to a book. Maybe somebody could come and make it. We'll talk to our producers. Maybe to make it into a film. But Audrey, thank you very much for joining us. And we look forward to sitting down with you again next Tuesday as we dig into another fantastic book.
Thank you, Mr. Tish.